You know, it's always can tend to be kind of a rough environment in West Texas in the spring. And 2011 was the epitome of that. I mean, a lot of things are out of our control as farmers. That's mainly the weather in any year, but especially in 2011, really felt probably the most helpless I've, and even in my short farming career at that point, and even talking to older guys. My name's Crosby. I'm a fourth generation farmer in Crosby County, Texas. Family settled here in 1917. Today we're standing in my shop here at Cone, and we're going to talk about no-till and regenerative agriculture. Anything out here we do, if it's not profitable and economical, then we're not going to be doing it for very long. And so economics was our big driver, but it quickly moved into and saw that not only can you have the economical benefits of this too, but we're seeing massive benefits in less soil, wind, and water erosion. Looking to try to increase our water filtration capacity. We're going to try to capture more of this rainfall that we're being given, doing a better job with getting what we're given. You know, if somebody tells you you could live in a 10 or 20% higher rainfall area, who wouldn't jump on that? Previous year's rye crop was exceptionally large. That's why there's still so much rye trash left. It was about double this when we planted. A lot of it has broken down, but the rye was about 6 foot tall when it was terminated last spring. And so there's still a good bit of, you can see with the rice, cereal rice straw that's left here on the top of the ground. It's covering a lot of it. And this is the sorghum Sudan, the hay grazer, maybe some millet here. Here's some millet heads. You can see there's still a little bit of moisture left under the residue here. And you can dig a little bit with your hand. And there's even an earthworm showing up, or a couple of them. We're seeing these because we've stopped tilling the ground. It's when we saw the earthworms start to show back up. And they don't like large temperature swings, and the cover on the top of the ground helps promote a lot of that. Doesn't get real hot, real cool, and so they're able to stay at the top and kind of munch on and eat some of this stuff. That's what's helping us break a lot of this trash down. When we were plowing this ground, we never found any earthworms, and so, I mean, you can find some now, large for West Texas. Those are on some of the smaller side, but anyway, it's just amazing the size of worm you can find too, after years of never having any. Growing up as a kid, we never found worms in any of these fields, and so.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really good. We've had dry years since we've been doing it. We were able to get a cotton crop, a dryland cotton crop grown. We're some of the few people in the county to get one without any rainfall before that. And so even in a fairly dry year, my neighbor's fields will run through your fingers. And mine is still held together by some roots and some structure, and it's got some worm channels in it, and you can see it's at least got something hopefully living and trying to hold it together. That system has been proven out a lot, since then, and since we started doing it. And so I really do feel like we're in a much better position. I always had the benefit of my dad and my uncle both were never afraid of change on the farm. Every farmer says this, and it's true, and you realize it a lot more when you have kids, is you want to leave it better than what we had it. And we know the water is not going to be better than it is today on this date at this moment in time. It's going to be less from here going out. I don't want to look up one day when we're hauling pivots off and think, well, now it's time for me, I guess, to try something different on this operation. And overnight or within a year, or you look up and your 50% irrigation capacity, what you're 4 or 5 years going to think, well, I guess it's time to start doing some of this. As I said, it's a process and it's gradual. And so I think we've got to be prepared now. I feel like we can find a balance in that somewhere with the no-till, the covers, and some of the stuff we're looking at. What we're doing is try to find a balance in there where we can kind of get back to what this land wants to be. And I found the more we get back to what it wants to be, the less it fights us. I think that involves using the best known strategies or what we have today. Every farmer, I think does the best with what they have on that date. And back in the day, that was gated pipe, and that was the best thing they had instead of flood water in a field with a ditch. And now we have different things from that, and now no-till and covers, I think, is some of the next part of this, more crop rotation. So nothing stays static or the same in anything that we do as we go along, and so farming is no different than that. And so I think we got to continue to evolve if we want to survive in the industry.